Here it is, the Mastery level 50 M433. Probably one of the deadliest weapons in Battlefield 6 if you use it right. I got some clips for you guys today, and then we'll get into the guide. Alright guys, after a long grind, I finally decided to max out the M433 to see what this gun is really all about. And honestly, it surprised me. Before we get into it, let me say if you're hoping for a zero recoil build, this gun isn't it. The M433 kicks, no doubt about that, but after spending a ton of time playing with it, I've learned that it's actually one of the fastest and most aggressive assault rifles in Battlefield 6. You just have to adapt to that playstyle. And as always, I've got two builds for you guys today. My main build, which I think most of you will love as long as you follow a few simple rules when using this weapon, and a second build with iron sight that's tuned for a bit more steadiness and better performance in mid-range fights. So let's talk about how to get the most out of this weapon. Within 20 meters, hip firing is absolutely the way to go. The setup I use gives you an insanely tight crosshair, and as long as your aim is on point, you barely miss a bullet. With its super high rate of fire, you have a great chance at winning close range gunfights. I honestly think the M433 is kind of underrated. It's one of those weapons that feels incredibly satisfying once you figure out its rhythm. By the way, if you're enjoying the gameplay or find these guys helpful, make sure to subscribe. We're getting closer every day to 250,000 subscribers, and it would mean a ton to have you in the community. To put in perspective, the only assault rifle that fires faster than the M433 is the Court 6B67. Only this has 20 damage. The M433 has 25 damage per shot up close, and you're dropping players faster than almost any other assault rifle in the game where you're within close range. Now there's a couple of downsides. It's not all perfect. The recoil and weapon spread make the M433 tough to control at mid to long range. You can kill players at 60 to 70 meters, but it requires tap firing and usually only works if your target isn't moving too much. Otherwise, it's smarter to avoid those gunfights and stay in your effective range. So overall, the M433 rewards an aggressive, in-your-face playstyle if you can handle recoil and play smart around its strengths. It's easily one of the most fun and fastest killing assault rifles in Battlefield 6. Now let's get into the two builds I've put together. One that focuses on hipfire dominance and another one that's more balanced for mid-range control. So here is the main build, the build you'll see in most clips. It's the hipfire build, so play aggressive with this. However, I have some fine tunes on this weapon, I would like to call them, that makes the weapon also usable for mid to long range. I wouldn't say long range, let's say mid range. Mid range is actually still quite doable with this weapon, as long as you're tap firing. Starting off with the sights, I use the ROS 1.25 zoom. It's a very clear red dot sight. If you haven't tried this out on any of your guns, I think you're really gonna like this one. In a lot of clips, you will also see me use the OSA 7, and I think the mini flags is quite good as well. Wouldn't really recommend going with anything higher than the 1.75 magnification. The ROM, for example, that I'm on right now is pretty clear. It's a nice clear sights. It just doesn't make sense on this weapon to go with a high magnification, considering the aggressiveness of this weapon. Then you go with the 50 MW green laser. Provides a moderate improvement to hipfire. Again, this green laser sight, you can see it. You can see it around corners. People will easily spot you. But if you're fast with this, you're going to be fast. You're going to be very fast. They're not going to be responding to you with that deadly time to kill. 4-shot kill up close with an 830 rate of fire. But keep that laser sight in mind, that people can see that a little bit easier. Then in combination with the green laser, you definitely want to be using the 14.5 standard factory short barrel that improves hipfire accuracy and faster transition to aim down sight. However, you get the reduced projectile velocity, so again, it's just not made for range, but that's perfectly fine with the build we have right now. That improved hipfire accuracy in combination with that green laser is an absolute godly combo, I would like to say. Then we have the stubby. I guess that's how they call this grip. Significantly reduces recoil and enables a slightly faster transition to aim down sight. However, it's at the cost of ADS accuracy while moving. Now, what you'll see me happen in a lot of these clips, when I'm shooting my gun, I'm not moving. I'm not trying to strafe at all with this gun. And when I'm strafing, I'm hip firing, which is totally fine, because then you don't really need the grip anyways. But when I'm ADSing and strafing, it's not the combo. So keep that in mind. When you're shooting this weapon, do not move. Otherwise, your accuracy is going to go all over the place and the spread becomes really bad. Unless, of course, you're going to start tap firing. But this is a very good grip. A little expensive, though. Then I went with the 30 fast mag. Just a very nice mag. You reload quite fast. Yeah, nothing more to say about that. And then we have the lightweight polymer case, which improves the ADS speed and the ADS movement speed, which makes it a bit aggressive. I know it's a bit weird to use that ADS movement speed, but it's good to have all options enabled on this weapon. On to the second build, and this is a build I started using a little bit later on. Also very much liked it. It's a bit of a weird build. If you do not like iron sights, I don't think you're gonna like it. But if you do like iron sights, I definitely recommend giving this a go. It's actually a little bit more of a beaming setup than the other build with an actual sights. So what you could do with this build is remove the laser sight and put a sights on this weapon. So those are like options I could definitely recommend trying that out. If you do not like the iron sights, you could literally just build this around a little less hipfire accuracy. Go with the red laser, and then you have points available for a sights on this. However, the build that I here recommend and that I played with quite a bit, probably also some clips in the background. So we got the iron sight, the basic sight, and then we got the green laser sight again. We got the converter, which reduces the horizontal recoil for a more stable vertical recoil. What that means is that the horizontal recoil is going to be way more predictable, and the vertical recoil is not going to become less. It might actually become more, but it's way more controllable and way more predictable. Vertical recoil is so much easier to control and easier to predict than horizontal recoil, so it really becomes much easier to handle. And we got that short barrel again. We got that same stubby grip. We're just going to call it that. We got the same 30 fast mag again, and then we have the FMJ rounds instead of the lightweight. The penetration rounds just gives you too much extra recoil again. It's not really worth it, I think. So there you go. That's the second build. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Drop a like. It really pushes these the videos into the algorithm. And then I hope to see you guys in the next one.